And we're live. Episode 6.
Is it 6 already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we just
Cruising.
put up episode 5
That's awesome.
last week. So we're... but I think possibly we've run out of things to talk about now, so...
Yeah, I'm just going to show my dog for now.
Yeah. We'll just play a music track over the top of it while your dog does stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because
I had my birthday yesterday, so that was fun.
Yeah. Happy birthday. What did you get? Some nice presents?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I only got one real present. Oh, I got two presents, so I got this one.
Cap bomb.
Did you ever have these when you were a kid?
I don't think so.
Where you have the little, it's like a little, put the camera, it's like these little caps.
Yep.
Of like,
I think we had them in like a little gun thing, and you could.
Yeah, but this is like, it's like a bomb, and you pull back the striker, and you put it on the end, and when it hits the ground, it goes.
Nice.
I thought that was funny.
Launch it at people.
I got this.
Oh,
Got an
nice.
Avengers mask.
Yep.
Yeah.
The mug.
And some Avengers socks. And obviously, we bought a car.
Yeah. Tell me about the socks.
Yeah. And I get to build another computer. So I'm gonna build a new computer.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty excited.
You've begun researching that one.
I have. I started a while ago actually.
Yeah.
And then just as I was researching, the NVIDIA Ampere graphics cards came out.
Oh.
Did you see those?
No.
They're like, basically they've, so the last year's NVIDIA cards are now just completely obsolete.
Oh God.
And like the lowest grade of these new ones is higher than the highest grade of the last batch.
God, really?
And it's about 40 to 50% cheaper.
What?
Yeah, they just it's called it's something about being able to do 4K gaming with ray tracing and stuff. And seriously, man, they're
Sorry, a little bit of lag. Yep, 4K gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's literally like under $1,000, I think, Australian. So I think the cheap one is about $400 or something, 480.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, yeah, and then the expensive one's like $800 or $900. I could be completely off with those, but yeah, they're not. It's not far off.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Jeez, yeah, because I think I got possibly one of the 4 gig cards. I'm not sure what my system holds it.
No, not 4 gig, not 4 gig.
4G.
4K.
Or 4. Yeah.
4K.
No, I know what you mean. I'm just saying I had the NVIDIA. Was it the GTX?
Oh, okay.
70 or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And it had like a few gig on it for processing, but this is already 2 years old, I think. No, 3 years old. Jeez, 3 years old now.
Yeah. Well, the one I have is the one we built.
Oh, okay. That's going back a while.
So like 5 years ago, I think.
That's not
so
a bad
basically
lifespan from tech, actually.
It's never missed a beat.
Yeah.
Like never. I upgraded the RAM once, and I've added more memory, but that's it.
That's the same thing.
No, like storage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what do the geeks call it? Like
the ROM.
Yeah, ROM.
Yeah.
So I added like an extra 8 gig of RAM, and then I added 10 terabytes of ROM.
Jesus, 10 terabytes.
Well, it was just to store pictures. It's like a really slow drive, but it's like it just has pictures. It's like this is where all the
Right.
family pictures are going.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So you
yeah,
don't really need to
so
use it that much. It's just
no, it's not a. I don't. It's not on call. It's just like
yeah.
sitting in there collecting pictures and random
Yeah.
like stuff that we're keep. It's like an archive.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
then yeah, so it's been really good. But like I've got an AMD 200 graphics card, and my
Oh.
mother.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm gonna like, because at first it was like, I'll try and upgrade this computer,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
my motherboard is so far behind.
Yeah.
Even like none of the shops are selling graphics cards that fit my motherboard.
Jeez.
So I have to like,
Right.
I'd have to like go to cash converters.
Jeez. So does that mean that you need to then upgrade the chip because your chip won't fit on a new?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like all just old. So it's like it just became, well, I have to upgrade the mother. I might be able to keep the RAM, but then there's new RAM and RAM's so cheap. So it's like
Yeah.
that's the
That's
least of the things that I care about in
yeah.
terms of. So yeah, so it's just became a build another computer.
You should still be able to do it for a reasonable price. Again, like
Yeah,
for what people are spending on phones every couple years,
yeah,
your
you can
PC will
easily.
still work out far cheaper than that.
Oh, easily. And like I mean, remember our last budget, the one we built was I think it ended up at like $1,050 or something.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So
Because you'll still have
yeah,
your keyboard, your mouse, your monitors.
yeah. And I see I don't need the peripherals.
Yeah.
So it's like I only need like RAM, ROM, power pack, case, motherboard,
Oh,
GPU, CPU.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like it's just the guts basically.
yeah.
So
Are you getting a new case for it as well?
oh yeah, yeah, because we're just gonna keep this as a computer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why not?
Like yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, what cases are like $50 or
yeah,
$70.
yeah. It could be a
So
whatever sound studio storage for your stuff. They pretty much
yeah, I'm
just
really
keep
surprised.
working.
Yeah, as long as it keeps working, I'm happy.
If you
And
if you disconnect it from the net, it usually will keep it pretty stable because
oh really?
continual
Yeah,
updates will tend to choke it up over time.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
once you get it
It's
to a
no
stable
longer.
state, just unplug it and
Yeah,
yeah,
well, that's the plan. And we'll just plug phones into it and just like download pictures onto it.
yeah, yeah. No, that's pretty exciting though. I love getting a new computer.
I know, I'm super excited.
Yeah, it's
So
one of
the
those. Oh, you're gone.
no, go. I was just saying, it's like, it's just in my mind because it's akin to cars. Like I think when before there were computers,
Right.
people like tinkering with their cars.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I modded this and I added this and now it's got the like 365 blower on it and it's just like
Yeah.
all this like what everyone thinks of as like meathead sort of thing is actually very like it's very similar to computers like and how everyone like mods and tweaks their computers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I think for me, all right, there's two sides to it. One, it's really exciting getting all the new tech. So that part is really, I'd love to see the performance stats on this. I'd love to see how well it
Hmm.
handles, a benchmark test, and then let's start looking at getting a monitor that will handle the 4K, etc., etc.
Yeah,
But then the other side is you get that bit of that delayed gratification side of it too, because it's not just building it; you have to like rebuild everything. You got to put the new operating system on. You've got to
No, that's true. Yeah.
make sure all your software is up and running, all the normal apps that you use, the way you customize it and like it, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's like you got to set aside a solid day
Yeah. And
for
it's like getting it's that clean feeling of like only what I want on the computer. There's no barnacles and there's
yeah.
no like
That's right.
there's nothing that's like
Yeah,
crept on there that like
yeah,
I didn't want and then I never undownloaded it, or like I downloaded it and then I forgot about it.
yeah.
It's like
It's for some reason there's like a Windows.old folder just sitting
yeah,
there full of your entire
I've got
last
a
build.
I've got a whole boot drive in there
Oh jeez.
that like I've got a whole nother set of Windows on there, but I'm too scared to uninstall it just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah,
Because it's like when we first got it, I got a SSD boot drive.
yeah,
Remember it was like a 60
yeah,
gig one.
yeah.
But that filled up like that. So then
Yeah,
I was like, oh crap, I can't like I literally
yeah, no,
like we had a 2 terabyte like, you know, normal drive, but like I couldn't I couldn't fit anything on the SSD and all the updates and stuff, and
yeah,
things kept trying to save to it and I'd accidentally save to it, and you
yeah,
know, just stuff like that.
yeah,
And then so then I got the 1 terabyte one and that worked. So like but then I didn't want to unplug the other one just in case it decides. Oh, actually, I was reading that one file from over there,
yeah.
and that's the one that like
Corrupt
that is
sector
going to keep.
cannot read. Must
Yeah,
have
and then I
format.
like plug it back. Then I plug it back in, and it's like, sorry,
Yeah.
you lose.
Oh, I've lost so much data just not knowing what I was doing. I was like gladly installing, was it Linux as a separate
Mm,
booting operating system, and then I was like, yeah, cool, I'll just put it on a partition, I know what I'm doing, and then I just erased the entire disk and lost everything when I was like, I'll just
yeah,
uninstall that partition section. No, I just wiped the whole thing. I'm like,
yeah.
wait,
Oh
what did I just
gosh,
click? Oh crap, I've
yeah.
lost everything.
It's like I'm
But
sorry.
yeah, having a clean high performance system, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and also being able to like do the folder system, you know, like
Yeah,
get the folder hierarchies right, and yeah,
yeah.
it's so nice.
Well, that's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
it will be. Unfortunately, like there's not. It's COVID's kind of hard to get stuff up here, but
right.
uh, and I think everything here is more expensive. So
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna have to like order parts, and then that's
yeah, I think I'm gonna go through MSY again
okay.
because that's where we went the first time,
Yeah. Right.
and either get people from. Like, I'm pretty sure they deliver, so I'll just contact one of their stores and like see what they can send me.
Right. Is Darwin
But
allowing interstate transport?
I don't know. Actually, no, Darwin's open.
All right.
It's like open as open can be.
Oh, you
Like
heard
it's
that,
like
folks? Get
yeah,
there! Everybody run!
that's what's happening. Like the streets are choked with tourists.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. Like it's like you can't. It takes like 10 minutes longer to drive to work.
Jesus. So 20 minutes.
Twice as long.
That's crazy.
But it is kind of
Well,
funny
like
because
now
it's
is the worst time to travel there. It's like middle of the build up, and
yeah. Well, we're even having an early wet season, so it like poured rain today,
oh no kidding.
and but it's not that. It's just there's no COVID, so it's
Yeah,
like
right.
people are just. I was talking about it a couple of days ago. Someone was saying like that's like it's turned into a commodity. It's like do you have COVID? No. Okay, you're gonna boom. It's like that's where all the people are trying to escape to. It's like a life raft.
Yeah, because
It's
wearing a
like the
mask
last.
is just it's awful.
Oh, I mean, catching a disease that will turn your lungs to glass is probably the
Yeah,
bit everyone's worried about.
Yeah. Oh, I watched Joe Rogan talking with, was it Maynard James Keenan or whatever his name is, the lead singer of Tool.
Oh yeah, I watched that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that dude, man, he caught it, and he's like that. He caught it in what, like February or March or something.
yeah. Early on in Australia.
Yeah, in Australia, spread it to New Zealand. Another great
Yeah,
Australian export. Um, but yeah, he was like, even now, his lungs are like not functioning at full capacity, and I think
yeah. He was like every couple days.
yeah, his coffin fit. That's
Yeah,
messed up after 6 months. I mean, I'm gonna assume that that dude has smoked a lot of drugs and stuff, so it's possible his lungs weren't in the best shape.
yeah. And he's probably also been in a lot of bars and a lot of like smoke room, smoke machine stuff, and
Yeah,
But still, yeah,
yeah,
it's a crazy disease. Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
the problem is not enough. What my thought is not enough high profile people have got a really bad case of it because
Yeah.
it's like because it affects mostly lower socioeconomical people who can't afford the whiz bang drugs and the top level care and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the people that have power and are seen are like, I got it for 4 days and then I kicked it.
Yeah,
Like,
that dude should be pretty rich though. Like,
oh no, he should be rich, yeah, but he
although,
probably got it. He
yeah,
probably got it before there was any treatments.
yeah, true. And he went and performed like a few days
Yeah,
later and was like
and
screaming his lungs
wasn't he
out.
saying like he didn't even know he had COVID?
Yeah,
Like they were,
that's right. The
he thought
doctor.
he was like, yeah, the doctor was like, oh, you're fine,
Yeah, you got a fever?
and
No, no, you don't have
yeah,
COVID. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then like a month later or whatever it was, he went to some other guy and he's like, "Oh no, you had COVID."
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, he's what, in his late 50s or something. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I think
still,
it's
yeah, that's the scariest side of it. But obviously, there's still a bunch of people that are just got it and gotten over it and so on. But I would like to not be one of them.
well, a
So
majority of people. Well, a majority of people will,
yeah,
and I think a majority of those people that get it and have a mild case won't have any symptoms afterwards.
yeah, true.
But I just feel like it's like it's like a one-armed bandit, like
Slot
like a
machine.
lot a slot machine, right? It's like you've got okay, you rolled you're rolling. Oh, you got COVID. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Oh, you've got a severe cough. You go to the next one. Oh, your lungs are now depleted and you're getting pneumonia. It's like you're just getting like you're rolling the dice as soon as you
Yeah,
as soon as you get it.
yeah,
And also, it's not so much the like there is a lot you can do. Obviously, you can be healthier. You can you know you can be younger. You can be thinner.
I'll just
There's
yeah,
things
yeah,
that there's different categories, but in
yeah.
the end of the day, everyone has the chance of death as soon as you get it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. It's yeah, it's pretty slim chance for most people, but yeah,
Yeah,
it,
no,
yeah,
totally.
yeah. If you have a complication alongside of that, like some other
Yeah,
illness,
yeah,
then you're definitely like, oh crap, I don't
yeah,
want that
like
one.
diabetes or like any
Kidney
sort of
problems, yeah,
kidney, liver, stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh well, that's
it's just interesting.
so. Are they screening the tourists that are coming in then?
No, no, everyone's it's a free for all now.
What?
So
No.
yeah, man, like you can just drive. I can just drive down to South Australia, and then I can just drive back.
Jesus. Well, is there no one
Yeah,
with any cases around?
no, no. South Australia is free. Tasmania's free. Canberra's free. WA's free.
Oh, jeez.
Queensland, I think, has like a couple, but they're all in quarantine. Victoria's pretty much cleaned up their second wave now. They just had 2 days without any,
Yeah.
and then today they had two, but it was they're already in they're already quarantined.
Okay.
So they had already quarantined them, and then they got it in quarantine.
Right.
And I think it's only New South Wales now that has. I think they had like 8 cases or something.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty much nothing.
yeah, it's like very very little, and um, I mean it's been helped along by the fact that the states all shut their borders for a while.
Yeah.
So they kind of took care of their own problems. It's like
Yeah.
they kind of isolated it that way.
Yeah, it's controlled the spread a lot. That's pretty
Yeah,
good. Um,
and then yeah, I mean Victoria just crushed their second wave.
yeah.
Like they were getting smashed,
How long did that
and
take them? But
oh, months,
yeah.
months and months.
Okay.
But I mean it got crushed. So
Yeah. Well, it's just we're pretty
you know,
much going through the same numbers now. We're like churning out between like maybe 8 and 1,000. No, our highest was 1,002 or 300, but it's been
yeah,
consistently around like 800 for the past like 10 days, 2 weeks kind of thing.
yeah, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, but it's mostly on the eastern island on
Ah,
Sabah.
okay, yeah,
So like on this side we're only getting a few hundred cases a day. On their side it's like six
yeah.
hundred, 800, 700, 800.
Yeah, well, see, like if you see did you see the graph with America, like the US?
No.
So they basically went first wave, and then it never got to zero, and it sort of did a dog leg up again to the second wave, like just like that, and then it did another dip, and then it went up now, and now it's above the second wave. Like the third wave is above the
Jesus.
second wave.
At what point are they going to learn to just stay indoors? Like, you don't have to
I
shut
mean,
everything
yeah.
down. You just don't go to massive crowded places.
Yeah, I don't know if they can actually contain it now. I don't know if it's possible.
Not from
Um, because it's kind of like you've set the gunpowder trail on fire, and it's basically burnt along and it's about to hit the bomb because there's 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 so many cases every day. Like there's like 70,000 cases a day or something ridiculous. And
Yeah, that's a crazy number.
yeah, I can't imagine any way of them doing contact tracing or rolling lockdowns or anything to do any of that.
No,
And
no,
I think
not
it's
at
just
that.
going to be
Yeah, I mean
yeah,
that's
it'll just end up being
70,000 is what they're able to find from their testing anyway. It's not like
yeah,
that's the actual
exactly.
number.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so it's basically yeah, there's just
yeah,
it'll just go through the population and whoever survives survives sort of thing.
hmm. I'm sure it's just waiting for the election, and then once the election's over, everything will calm down again. Yeah.
Well, I heard it was a hoax.
Yeah. Um, there was a couple things that I wanted to talk about before Hunter Biden's laptop. 'Cause,
The laptop from hell.
oh my
You see
goodness.
that? That was the trending hashtag.
Oh really? Jeez. Yeah. Um, the October surprise. Uh, can't for the life of me think what it is now. Oh, that's right. That's right. I watched this TV series called Dating on the Spectrum.
Oh God.
If you haven't seen that, you have to go watch that. It's so funny. It is just so funny. It's dating for people on the autism spectrum, and I swear it's Australian, and
Yeah.
the guys on what is it, Two Bears One Cave? No, not Two Bears One. Your Mum's House podcast. They talked about it because they've been watching
Oh,
it.
what's it?
Tom
Tom.
and Christina, yeah,
Yeah.
they were watching
Yeah.
it, and they mentioned it, and I was like,
Okay.
oh, that sounds interesting. I think I've heard of that before. And then I watched it with Amira, and we were laughing so hard at part. We literally fell over on top of
Oh
each other,
my goodness.
just laughing so hard. It's some of the comments were just pure gold. I mean, you couldn't script that. It was just so. Oh my god! I don't even want to
Oh,
talk
that's
about it to
awesome.
spoil it, but you
No,
gotta
I'll suggest it.
just watch episode one. That's all.
Yeah.
Just
Oh yeah.
get through episode one to get yourself hooked. Oh man, that
Yeah.
was is gold. It was. I think it's only like 5 or 6 episodes all up. It's just one season.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And there is some
Yeah.
interesting like psych stuff behind it where they've got some interesting professionals that come in and help work with them and so on. So there is that side that I quite liked. But
Yeah.
just the way they spoke. Oh my god. I was laughing for days afterwards and yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's awesome.
so go watch that one. That one's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. We watched the second Borat.
I'd heard that I didn't realize it was out. I think was
Yeah.
it Joe Rogan mentioned something about the mayor or ex-mayor Giuliani or something.
Yeah.
Was
It was.
he?
It was. The movie was a bit of a dud,
Oh,
if
okay.
you ask me.
Yeah.
I was. Uh, it wasn't offensive enough. Like, I mean, seriously, like, in all seriousness,
Oh God.
like you watch Borat for that sense of like, oh, dude, too far. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
My
Like,
wife is
that's,
dead. Yeah, it's okay. I have another
yeah,
wife.
yeah, and just sort of, or the other thing was where Borat brings out the horrible bits of other people because
Yeah.
Borat thinks it's normal, but it's actually terrible.
Right.
So, but they agree because they're like they don't realize it's a character. That was
Yeah.
missing.
All right. That's
Whereas
interesting.
like it was, yeah, it was very much like I don't know. It felt very muted, and yeah, unfortunately. And
Huh.
the bit with Rudy Giuliani was so hyped up and was
Yeah, but it's
basically,
because it's election time, so
yeah, exactly. But it was so fake. It was
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't fake. It's that Rudy Giuliani was there, and that stuff happened, but it wasn't what they said it was.
Right.
So yeah. If you watch the clip, it actually, yeah,
Yeah. Who
it's
was talking about it? There was one of the people I was watching were talking about it, and they were showing a few clips from it, like a few stills from it,
yeah,
and it didn't look like that much, to be honest. They were like, he was talking about it with the guy from Tool, and yeah, they were
oh,
just saying
okay,
it's
yeah.
like he could have had a mic pack. That's what he could have been adjusting it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it basically just looks like he's tucking in his shirt,
Yeah, yeah,
which is exactly what he said he was doing. But because he's
yeah,
Rudy Giuliani, everyone goes, "No, of course you wouldn't."
yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
like,
Where are you tucking it into your ass?
mm.
Yeah,
But it was totally innocuous,
yeah.
and yeah, yeah, very
Yeah, that's
I
a
don't know.
hard
It was
one.
it was it
So,
felt like it just felt very disingenuous. Like
yeah,
it was not the I mean it's hard to follow up Borat because
mm,
he even addresses it in the beginning, everyone knows him.
yeah, right,
So people are like, "Oh, it's you, Borat. Hey, give me your autograph."
right, right.
But and there was a lot of scripting between him and his pretend daughter. Like there was a lot of scripting. Like remember the last time he had the fat dude, that was his agent or manager,
Yeah.
and they had those little tie-in bits between the big skits.
Oh,
You know, like
vaguely.
like
Yeah.
well, I mean that's how
The
they
storyline or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, that's how they tied the bits together. It's like
Mm.
whereas this was mostly a story,
Oh, okay.
so you didn't really get the shock factor of him just completely like fooling people.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like there were a few bits, but yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
was,
mean, he has done story stuff in the past with was it Ali G and the House, and
yeah,
it was more about the character rather than the actual fooling people and whatnot. But I guess Borat was introduced in that concept of
and it was also like
tricking people.
all the marketing was, oh, we tricked Rudy Giuliani.
Right,
So, it was kind of sold
right,
as like a Borat 2 where he does crazy hijinks
right.
and gets away with it. He poops in a bag and it's like hilarious.
Nice one. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I just, yeah, anyway.
Mm. Have
Maybe
you
it's just
seen?
me and I'm older.
Well, I mean, not everything's a hit, you know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Is The Boys season 2 out yet?
Yep, yeah, it finished. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been very slack with watching TV.
Yeah.
I
Same.
really have. I've got a whole bunch of TV shows to watch, and I just have been really slack with watching them.
Um. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely do want to watch The Boys season 2.
Yeah, it's supposed to be amazing. Danny said it was awesome.
Oh,
So
nice. Oh, good. I'm glad they're
yeah,
not letting that one die off. I did catch up on everything of The Expanse that I could.
yeah,
That's awesome. That series is
yeah. It's
just
still awesome.
so well. Oh, it's so polished. Like
Mm,
even the last season, it was definitely a bit slower on its storyline, but there's just so
yeah,
much good attention to detail in there. Like they're
yeah. Well, that's what I picked up in the second season as well. Yeah,
yeah, it just really takes you into that world and really runs the storyline of it. Um, I mean, some of it did feel a little bit like unnecessary as to what it has to do with the actual full story, but I can't remember if it was one of the people that was saying because there's like still more books to follow. This was kind of the bridging book that leads to the bigger storyline of where the actual plot's
okay,
going. So you needed these parts to happen in order for the next stuff to occur, and so it wasn't like full action
yeah,
packed whatever, but it was, well, according to him, it's like a necessary bridging part for the next parts. But again, just the way the characters are, the depth of character in them, the way they stick to their different character types, and the way they've built like a culture out of these like space people, like yeah, people from
mm,
Mars have a certain mentality, people from the belt have a certain mentality and also a certain way of speaking and a certain accent, and yeah, it's just
yeah.
really polished. It's really good.
No, that's cool.
It's definitely a Game of Thrones for space, but the
Well, let's
story,
hope it doesn't.
I was gonna say the story is better written.
Yeah, and also hopefully it doesn't outpace the books.
Yeah, no, well, I think there's still
Yeah,
a few books ahead of the season, so it's doing all right. But I mean,
yeah,
even if it does, just wait, let the guy write.
yeah. Because that was the
Yeah, yeah,
nail in the coffin
yeah.
for.
People gave up on it. From what I still haven't watched the last season of Game of Thrones. I keep meaning to. I
I
just
don't even bother.
yeah.
It's like I haven't watched the last Star Wars movie. I was just like, eh.
What one was
Like
that one?
I'm number 9.
Oh, the actual one in the main series.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I was eh.
yeah,
I just I've been so uninterested in where that story was headed. I
yeah,
couldn't see how they could have anywhere remotely done anything interesting. Like that, like killing off Luke Skywalker was basically the last. Like that was it. I was like, why? Like, what was even the point?
yeah. Keep alive the character who actually died, and then kill off the person who could still
Yeah, it was
do something. Yeah,
so
yeah.
weird. Like,
It
just
no. I mean, given the poster you're sitting in front of, the actual Star Wars. Yeah,
real Star
I
Wars.
basically I just told my wife to stop buying me Star Wars stuff because I used to get like the
Yeah,
T-shirts and whatever. I'm just like, don't.
yeah, same here.
It doesn't excite me anymore. It's kind of lost that
Yeah, I don't.
thrill side.
No, totally. They just milked it as much as they could,
Yeah, but
and then we're like, oh well,
such a shame
but
because there's just so much
yeah,
story, so much capacity for great story, and can
like,
have
I mean,
like an unlimited budget to make it bring it to life. It's like
yeah, and
why did you stop?
already rock solid fan base.
Yeah, exactly. You guaranteed
Like
like $1
like
billion return on anything you make.
like look at the first one when it came out.
Yeah.
Everyone was just like, it's still good, it's still good, it's awesome, it's still good.
Yeah.
And then the second one came out, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
we can still go. Come on, like,
That's right.
there's still lightsabers.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the last one. Yeah, I watched it,
Yeah,
but I think I waited for it to come out online. So,
yeah. Oh, did you see the lightsaber video I sent to you guys? This guy's made his own lightsaber.
I didn't watch it. I saw the link, but I haven't watched it.
Ah, okay,
That's
yeah.
some sort of plasma thing, right?
It's basically a plasma cutter, but it's like the freakiest thing is when he turns it on, it looks like a lightsaber being turned on. It's just a handle, and then it goes, and it terminates at a point.
Right.
It's a little flickery because it's flame,
Yeah.
but it's I mean I can't even show it in the screen. It's
Right.
it's like it's like lightsaber size.
That's pretty awesome.
Um, and like when he turns it off, it goes.
Does he chop stuff
So,
up with it?
yeah, he melts things. That's the video I sent because he had the making of it beforehand,
Yeah.
and then that week was his like I'm gonna cut things up with it,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean it goes through doors and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He does the whole Qui-Gon Jinn like jamming
Yeah,
it
I
through a
mean,
steel door.
that's the kind of Star Wars stuff I would still watch rather than the
Yeah,
movies.
exactly. That's exactly it. It's like I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, again, it is just like it is basically a refined blowtorch, but
but it looks
it's
cool.
got the look. Yeah, it's got the look, and the on and off is the best I've ever seen.
Nice. Yeah, well, I'm still waiting for tech to slowly catch up to give us all that level of technology.
Yeah,
I think I'm looking forward to better cyborg technology because I keep seeing like
mm,
different shows, and a person will have a glowing tattoo that will link them up to whatever, and then they can
yeah. Or
just
that guy that had the robot arm attached to him. He had like another arm like out this way, and he hooked it up to the internet, and people could move it around. But it was like it was interfacing with his nerves.
oh wow,
So yeah, it was that was a few years ago as well.
that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't anything. He was a performance artist, so he
sure.
like just did like.
Well, they got to
But
test
yeah,
it on him at least.
yeah, I've seen some cool robot feet. I've seen some like real amazing,
Are they
like robot.
powered?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
powered robotic feet. That like step and like have spring and there's a guy. I think it was a TED talk, but it was a few years ago, and he brought them out like he was wearing them. He didn't have any feet, and he's designed all these uh, not only robotic but also just like machine feet.
Yeah,
But he has like various attachments depending on what he's doing. So he has like climbing feet and walking feet and
bear
all these
claws.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the ones that he had on were like sort of encased the calf and then went down to a robotic foot that could actuate like this, and it would sense when you're stepping and like do a normal like heel to toe
That's pretty cool.
walking motion. Yeah, you couldn't tell. Like from the way if he was walking when he was walking around,
Yeah.
if they didn't have a picture of his feet, you wouldn't know. Like you wouldn't even have a clue.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be so fun to try that. I just don't want to chop my foot off to do
No,
it.
no, I mean and this is the problem. Like, it's an interesting thing where because everyone thinks that they're their brain,
Mm.
um, like people's personalities don't really change if you chop off a hand, um, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Right, like because I'm pretty sure they have
No.
like
No, they
this,
don't. I mean, like
yeah,
they'll
that
get depressed because oh my god, my hand got chopped off, but
yeah,
their
and then their
personalities.
happiness levels just go back, straight back up, don't they? Like they think it was something about
I think they adjust. Yeah. The
yeah,
the
it's like a baseline, and then you get a dip, and then it goes back up.
yeah.
And but like, how much of your body can you lose? Like, is your body actually just a machine, and then your personality and consciousness are solely in your brain,
Mm.
or do you rely on that sort of sympathetic nervous system and the
Mm.
gut feelings, the heart feelings, the
Yeah. Well,
you know
they do say
you know d
emotions are stored in different places around the body. So, I mean, I don't I don't know exactly how well tested that is by like science. Again,
mm,
psychology is it's barely a science. I know it tries to be a
yeah,
science, but yeah.
it's mostly your mother.
That's right. Now smoke this cigar.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
yeah, no,
but
but yeah, I just always thought that, like, it's like, okay, you replace your arm, okay, you replace your legs, yeah, okay, so now but this, like, as you're replacing organs, and like there's that dude that didn't have a heart, remember? He was like, did you see that one?
mm,
He had a robotic heart. It was um it was basically like a pool filter. Um, it just whirred, it just
oh, okay.
and like you said, he couldn't hear, he no longer could hear his heartbeat, like his body didn't have a heartbeat anymore. And he was alive for quite a while, like, months, and then he died. But
Okay.
it's
But
just interesting, like
yeah, that's an
as
interesting
you
one.
lose, as you lose touch with those organs,
Yeah, well, I mean,
are you losing?
your brain does have automated systems set up to run that stuff. So it has
Yeah,
feedback mechanisms within it to check on and know its state. Because like hunger is a motivator, right? Like
yeah.
if we,
But is it coming from up here, is what I'm saying.
I think
Like, is it
the
checking and then bouncing back, or is it generated from your stomach?
I think it's
So it's
generated
like,
from the stomach, and you have just like a passive listening device in your brain. I
yeah,
think the signals start in your organs.
yeah. So like, if you took your stomach out,
Yeah.
you would no longer be hungry. I mean, clearly you wouldn't be able to eat anything, but
Yeah, I mean, I think it's your liver that's detecting your like blood sugar levels and certain other
okay.
things. But
But whatever it is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
if you took out like the digestive system
right.
and the liver and things like that,
Mm.
would
Yeah,
you no
probably.
longer would you no longer be able to sense hunger?
Yeah,
And
probably.
then would that then change your personality? Like, that's more what I'm getting at is, as you remove parts of your body and make them robotic,
Yeah,
does it change your personality?
yeah. I would definitely get a lot less hangry.
Yeah,
Um,
well, yeah, exactly.
but I mean, that would still depend on what my nutrient intake would be because, like, if it starts getting low on certain things like sugars and protein and
Yeah,
whatever, then I'd probably still have that feedback going through my brain going, I can't operate well enough. But
yeah.
yeah,
But then you're also not,
I mean, that would be an interesting, I guess, an interesting study on anyone that has had particular organ damage.
because like then also would you be like, because like a lot of people base their personalities on what foods they like,
Hmm.
what it's like, I don't like this, I like this.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you still
like
be vegan
that's
if your diet is oil and
yeah, exactly.
and
It's like
electricity?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like and then like it's so weird. Like when I think
Yeah.
this is what I think about when I'm like people want to like, and also say your ears, right? Say you get robotic hearing.
Yeah.
Do you still like the same sounds?
I think your ears are a fairly passive instrument, right? They just vibrate as a drum, and then it sends the signals direct to your brain.
Yeah, but is it the signal?
Yeah.
Like, what is your brain liking about sound? Is it like it's obviously not liking the actual sound
No.
because all it's feeling is the signal.
Yeah.
Just like a specific set of stimuli
Yeah.
is triggering like pleasure.
Yeah.
So if you remove that and it encodes sound differently, you hear the same sound, but it encodes it differently,
Yeah.
and your brain no longer
Yeah.
gets
Could
the same signal.
could very well be just like you go from disliking dubstep to liking dubstep, and all of a sudden
I don't think that'll ever happen, but yeah.
you'd need a brain injury to enjoy that.
Screw it.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's an interesting one. I know there's like some. I keep reading up about how things like dopamine and serotonin are all well, like serotonin's produced something like 90% in your gut, and dopamine's 50% in your gut.
yeah.
So I mean, I guess there must be just a whole stack of interplay between your
Well, there's that whole
like your body system and your state of well-being and your mood and your emotional states.
yeah, in your state of self, like your that that ping you get in your head. Oh yeah, that's me. Like it's me, it's me, it's me. You're always getting this
Okay,
like feedback.
here's a thought, right? Um, you have more control over the content of your thinking than you would over the experience of your emotional shift.
Yeah,
And so it's quite possible that the experience of your emotional shift is more dictated by automated systems, possibly throughout your body. Like it's
yeah,
the emotional versus the logical side. And so
yeah.
if you start removing the emotional producers, you may end up with like a pure logical, stable state.
So you're literally turning into a robot.
Yeah, Vulcan. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because I know they just recently discovered, like, I mean, it wasn't that recent that they discovered is it, I can't remember the organ around your innards. It's like a sac that holds everything together and
The
it's all
myofascial
interconnected.
stuff.
No, no, not myofascial. It's like they've officially classed it as a new organ now.
Oh,
So
I don't know that one.
that, yeah, I can't remember what it's called. The meat. It's too long ago that I heard it. But basically, what it does is they've just realized that it kind of connects all of the internal organs together,
Right.
and it sends chemical signals between everything.
Oh.
And normally, what they do is they cut through it when they're doing to get to the organs.
Yeah.
So it's like a bag that covers the organs,
Right.
and but it also is in between the organs,
Yeah.
and so they recently found that. So then now they're starting to study that because they realize it's sending chemical signals everywhere. Um, and then the other one they just found, which is completely separate,
Yeah.
is there's a new set of saliva glands directly behind your nose and under your eyes, so like straight back that way.
Mm.
That this is like almost directly in the middle of your head, and it's just above your soft palate.
Uh-huh.
And they've never found them before.
What?
And there's like they're like this big. and they
What?
like sit back. Yeah, yeah. They they only found it because they were doing MRI studies
Hmm.
on patients looking for tumors, and they were doing like like radioactive dye studies, and imaging them in MRIs, and it kept settling on these things in the back, and they were like, we don't know what those are, and these patients were meant to be healthy,
Yeah.
like they're doing like healthy sick patients, and yeah, they found this completely new structure in the skull.
But I mean, they've been doing autopsies for forever. How
They
could
were
you
like
not?
the reasoning in the paper was it's normally really hard to get to that part of the brain of the skull. Dead serious.
Science. It
Yeah.
was too hard.
How weird is that though? Like literally a new set of saliva glands were found.
That's yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So that was two new body parts found in recent history.
Yeah, that's so. I thought they already had like the entire body map because they've like done slices, entire like
Yeah.
salami slices of your body of a
Yeah.
frozen corpse all the way down. So it's like this is
Yeah.
that, this is that.
Yeah. But they're just looking for stuff that already cut open. They're like, oh yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm assuming. And it's like the weirdest thing is that they've been cutting through the. I think it's the oh gosh, I'm gonna butcher it. It's like Missiona or Missiona or something like that. Missia.
I've never heard of it, so
That's the name of this. Yeah, well, that's the name of this organ.
I'm gonna
And
say that it is exactly the way you say it. 'Cause I don't know what it is.
don't say that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna.
But it's just so bizarre, right? Like they find a new organ that they've been cutting through this whole time,
Yeah,
which I'm assuming they just were like, this is just a useless bit of skin.
yeah,
And then they find like giant saliva glands in the back of your head.
yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, clearly there's still a lot to learn about the body. Well, not a lot, but there's still things to learn about the body.
Well,
Um,
normally it's like, oh, we found this tiny little receptor thing, but it's
yeah,
like,
exactly. It's like we've discovered a new, well, not so much discovering something new, but more understanding better how different systems communicate with one another or operate.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because like there was those really cool animations that talk about these tiny little like um, what are they?
I know the one you're talking about.
These like tiny
Ones
little
that look like they're
cellular.
walking.
Yeah, yeah, that just walk along and then they like operate on what is it, molecules or protein?
It's mostly DNA
Yeah,
like signal carrying in
yeah.
like
It's like
the DNA
what? There's
processes.
these tiny little organic machines that do this work,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's like
just
really specific, highly structured coding work.
yeah, yeah. It's bizarre,
Yeah,
absolutely bizarre.
it's like, oh yeah, yeah, you can build those. Yeah, cool. Set a
Yeah,
series of
it's
instructions. But like that's the
so
kind of
freaky.
cyborg stuff I'm talking about. Like
Mm,
it would be awesome to have. I know the idea of nanobots is pretty horrifying for some
mm.
people because of the potential for it to completely overtake an organic system. But how cool would they be?
If they worked, yes, they would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you'd obviously need like it to replicate in a mass amount um, in order to be useful, but
yeah,
still, yeah, it would be super cool to have that because then you'd just have machines continuously monitoring every part of your body. You could then get live feedback of exactly how your liver,
mm,
kidneys, whatever, all functioning. Oh, it's like, oh, look, I'm running really low on potassium today. I'm gonna go eat a banana or
yeah.
whatever it is people get potassium from, and yeah, like that
Well,
would be that'd be really
it'd be very cool if it could release that stuff as well to keep you in that like perfect homeostasis. Like if you had
that would be cool.
Like if you had stores of all those chemicals in your body,
Yeah, right.
and it's like monitoring it and releasing it. I mean, I'm assuming we're just talking about like functions the liver do. The liver does already,
Yeah. Well,
but
yeah,
at,
but like you have to continuously consume food in order to get that,
yeah,
rather than just like here's a
yeah,
nutrient
exactly.
capsule, boom, and
Yeah.
you just insert it
So
where
like
your
these
stomach used to
nanobots
be.
were, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
can just have a supplement.
yeah. No, I think that would be cool. I think it would be cool because it would be nice to have that level of distress removed from our modern living, like
Yeah, yeah,
because
definitely.
obviously mortality is still like a driving force behind a lot of people.
Mm,
And that would be one of the things that really allow for a settling of people because they know continuously how their body's at, exactly where things are
yeah,
starting to degrade and fall apart. You have preparation. The mystery of death doesn't have to be there quite so strongly. You
yeah.
probably
Well, the
would
people
have
are
a
loving those
mortality clock.
watches. Yeah, a mortality clock. It's like I have, I have X amount of hours to live. I can't be waiting in this line.
That's right. Let me shorten your mortality clock.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. But yeah, people love those health watches. Is that what you were showing me?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got one?
I picked up
Yeah,
the Samsung one because I had a Fitbit
yeah.
and it just kept dying. I think
Oh, really?
we went
Yeah.
through 3 to 4 models within a year, and they just died and
Wow.
kept dying. It's like screw this. I'm just gonna go get a Samsung instead. So hopefully
Yeah,
it
well,
lives
lots
up.
of people like it, especially for heart rate and like that sort of thing. And I had this idea ages ago about having, like, I always thought what you could do is have your watch, like when the first Apple Watches were coming out, I was thinking, imagine if you had like a sensor underneath it that monitored, uh, that took in any sort of perspiration that came out,
Uh,
monitored what was in that perspiration, and then recommended foods that you eat.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Because
Yeah,
it's very much like what they used to do, which was, I mean, that's how they invented Gatorade and stuff like that.
right,
Like the Gators were a football team, and
right.
the coach got sweat off the players and
Creepy.
basically
Yeah.
and after sniffing it,
This is like licking.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, you're low on salt.
I feel so powerful. No, they analyzed it and basically put that into the drink,
Okay.
and so it was
Oh,
like, and then they performed better than the other team in the second half
yeah,
because they,
I guess so.
and that's why it was called a Gatorade
Right.
because it was like
Helping the Gators.
eating, yeah,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I've seen like different sci-fis where they have like the wrist piece and there's an actual insert that's going into your whatever bloodstream or something, but
yeah,
it's just like a constant live monitoring.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be handy. It'd be real handy. Um,
I'm just a big fan of non-invasive stuff at the moment. I I would really like I would really enjoy some wearables, but I wouldn't enjoy some like
implantables.
implantables, yeah. Like not yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
so
so no
Elon,
piercings for you then,
I tried a piercing once. It wasn't very good.
really?
Yeah, I used to have my ear pierced
Did you?
back when I was, yeah, I don't
Oh,
think I had it when I was with you guys when I met you.
all right.
I got it. I did it with a mate of mine. We like went into the bathroom and like jammed an earring through our ear and thought we were cool.
It's
And
like
then I think I
bleeding,
was like,
pale white. It's awesome, man.
that's pretty much what happened. It didn't bleed, but
Uh,
because it was like a piercing stud, so it just
uh,
like held the hole. But yeah, I was like, I walked in to home and it was my left ear. So I was only making left turns. Like I was like following the wall and then making a left turn. I was like trying to navigate my house only making left turns.
There's Simon doing his left
Yeah,
turn thing again. Hey, mom.
yeah.
Dear.
That's the 15-year-old brain for you. I just got to get through my whole life with my mum
Dear.
only seeing my right side.
Yeah, no, I really didn't like wearables anything for quite a long time, but I did eventually get a Fitbit, and I think it wasn't so much the steps tracking for me because that's depressing. Just like looking at it, man, I did nothing today.
Four.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness, I've had far too many days where it's like 1,000 steps odd. It's just like, come on, man, you've got to
How
move
many
some more.
steps are you meant to do?
They like recommend 10,000. I think I get
1,000 steps.
10,000 steps. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, but that's
I mean,
like
maybe.
you can knock out 2,000 pretty comfortably in say like 20 minutes of walking.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Yeah.
like
So it just
what it
sounds
is.
like a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the reality is, it's like clocking up what 2 hours worth of walking in the day is actually not. Yeah, that's actually not that easy,
Yeah.
especially in my line of work
Yeah.
where I'm
It's not
just like
like,
sitting all day.
yeah. See, I'm up and about in my job. Like I'm like up and down stairs
Oh,
and
good. Yeah.
like going to see people and like talking to the manager, going back to my office, going down, grabbing paper,
Oh, you should get
So
a steps tracker thing, and then we can compete and see who's getting the most steps, because that sometimes
yeah.
helps motivate me to move a bit.
But then it'll be like on the weekend, it'll be like,
Yep.
oh, he got out of bed and walked to the couch.
That's You were moving so slowly that it didn't
Yeah.
track the steps. Yeah, I just
I'm just
wearing it
taking.
for walking meditation. I thought, yeah, this will definitely get it up. Except that my hands are clasped, so it doesn't get the swinging motion
Ah, it
that kind of
requires the.
yeah.
Oh,
And I'm also
okay.
not walking fast enough for it to like do the GPS location changes.
Ah,
And
okay.
so I'm like doing 40, 50, 60 steps, and it's just recorded nothing. So I'm like, okay, that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
sucked.
So it's not accurate enough.
No, not quite.
What if you could put it on your foot? What
Yeah,
if you could put it on your ankle?
I suppose I could. I had the really small band before because I got skinny wrists,
Hmm.
so this new one's got a
Yeah,
longer band, so that might work. Um,
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't actually even know that they used like the momentum of your
yeah,
hand.
no, they use motion because it'll track stairs as well. So like, I'm guessing it's
Yeah.
the difference, the way it moves when you go up and down stairs is different, and so it can track how many
Yeah.
flights you're doing. It's pretty accurate.
Mm.
Um, but from wearing that, it wasn't so much the steps that got me, it was the fact that I could get messages onto it. And so I'd get a notification buzzing on my wrist. And because again, my job, everything's done on WhatsApp on the
Yeah.
workplace. And so there's like teachers groups and
Ah,
counselors groups
okay.
and all these different groups. And if I'm teaching, I don't have my phone out, but at least if I like get a notification saying, is this student in your class? Can they come to the office or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I can just like quickly check and go, oh, yep, hey, can you go talk to such and such?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was finding that so useful, like, yeah, that I've realized, oh, I should really stick with getting these kind of wearables because and once you've got like the watch with the face on it and it's got a bit more interaction, you can like put your calendar reminders to come up. You can
Yeah.
do your day-to-day stuff tracking, and I need reminders because my memory is pretty bad. So
Yeah. So it's actually functional for you.
yeah,
It's not
and
just yeah.
it's I barely look at the steps anymore. I'm looking at mostly the actual functionality, so I don't have to pull my phone out all the time. Um,
Yeah. Well, I've seen the odd anecdotal story of like an Apple Watch saving someone because it like that they have like a fall function. Have you heard that? They're like, if you fall over, it registers it.
Really?
Yeah, so some guy like fell off his bike, went unconscious, and the Apple Watch called the ambulance.
That's
And
awesome.
I think there was another one where a guy fell off a ladder. But again, these are just like, random stories. It's
Sure.
not that I read in the newspaper. It's not like,
All right.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know
No,
how.
it's got some functionality. I haven't dug too deep into it. It's got like a voice assistant thing, but the responsivity on that for me, I don't know if it's my accent. I don't know if I have such deep baritone voice that it
Yeah,
doesn't pick up on it. But it's not too bad with its voice recognition, but it's not that good either. It's not good enough that I like don't have to
yeah.
use like my
Well,
phone to write a text
I
anymore.
I agree. No, I've got it on in the car.
Oh, yeah,
It'll like read messages that people send to me,
yeah,
and then it's like, do you want to send a response?
yeah,
And then I'm like, yes. And then it thinks for a bit and then goes, boop. And then you say your thing, and then it's like, this is what I heard. And then it's like, do you want to send this? And it's like, yes. Okay, sending. And it's like the amount of effort that took.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if you could just be, it's not the same as just talking.
No,
Like in terms of like,
yeah,
I don't feel like I'm just talking to another person. I'm talking to like a really clunky
yeah,
algorithm.
yeah. That's the feeling of it at the moment. Like there's say WhatsApp, and I'm not sure if Insta does it as well, but you actually just do short voice recordings. You just hold the button down and hey blah 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 blah. Uh, you can check it and then click send. And that's much
Check
easier
this
than
out.
like voice recognition. It's just at least recording you and sending it.
Check this out.
So. Dirty. So you got a cat hiding down there.
Yeah, look at her.
Yeah. Just keeping an eye
Look.
on things.
She's just like staring intently at you.
Is that one of the does your cat like to, find something that's too small for it and then go sit inside that? You got
No, no, she doesn't do that. She's mostly just trying to find places to hide. Like,
fair enough.
and then every so often she'll just come and sit next to me on the couch and get patted, and then yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
So
she's
anyway, wearables pretty good.
yeah.
Um,
I
so
give it a few more generations.
yeah, I actually went backwards. They had the Samsung Active 3, and I was just doing a bunch of review readings, and most of it just like don't bother. Just
Oh,
it's
really?
exactly the
Yeah.
same as the other one, but with like a couple of small upgrades on it. So I'm like, I'll save
Yeah, well,
myself a
it's a
few
bit
more
like
bucks.
it's a bit like the new Apple phone. Um,
Yeah,
like everyone just bagged that out.
yeah. It's
And it didn't come with a charger or headphones.
Yeah, I know, and they sold it with that bullshit story about how they're like helping the environment and so on. It's like, no, you're not. You're cutting costs,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
everybody knows
if you,
it.
well, I mean, if a set of headphones lasted for 10 years
Yeah,
and everyone had like 10 sets of headphones, then
yeah,
yes, I can understand.
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
exactly.
there's too many headphones in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
But they barely make it to the next phone upgrade.
I know the
And
cables are just
so,
rotten quality.
yeah,
The Ramirez ones
yeah,
are all just shredded.
yeah. And it just, like the little plastic around the front breaks
Yeah,
and the connections on the actual to the earbuds just are terrible.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
and same with your plugs. Like the plugs are exactly the same. It's like slowly they break, they get bent, they get snapped. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah, no, I was looking at the price comparisons of getting that phone plus the accessories that would come with it that you would need, and it's just like you're not saving any money with the new packaging and the way it's
Yeah.
set up. It's still a more expensive device. The only things that were really going for it was the fact that it had that ceramic toughened screen, the
Yeah.
ceramic
Yeah.
tough display, plus the fact that its processing chip is a solid 50% faster than the old model. And
Okay.
I was like, that's like a pretty significant step up. But
Well,
that's it.
I mean, I'm surprised they don't just like pre-break iPhone screens because
Yeah, that's
it's
right. You can
it's
select your crack pattern on it.
yeah, exactly. It's just I don't think I've seen a phone without a crack on it.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah. No, that's true.
It's it's pretty shocking.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like my phone's getting 2 years old now, so I should still hopefully get another solid year out of it before it becomes slow and clunky.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get a bit more because they are a bit costly, but I was thinking of if I'm gonna move to a once I do get a new phone, I was thinking of looking at the alternative brands because like I've been Samsung for ages.
You
Um,
should just get Apple.
I just, yeah, like no, I just can't.
Join the join the dark side.
It's like I know there's a lot of stuff that's quite solid and quite good about them, but there's a lot of things in there which just do not gel with me, and I just can't switch to it. Um,
Yeah, I like the security of it though.
yes, absolutely, and I like that connectivity to its other devices. I think it's
Mm.
seamless and it's so well made, but there's stuff about it that I don't like. Um,
Yeah, the problem I find with Apple is that if something doesn't work, there's nothing you can do about it.
yeah,
Like the, uh, but I mean, see, this is the same argument with cars. Like it's like the cars reached a period where something went wrong. There was nothing you could do about it. You had to take it in somewhere. Um, but yeah, I mean, for someone like myself who doesn't do anything
yeah,
on phones,
yeah,
like simple messaging and a few apps, it's
yeah.
like it's so worry free for me.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh,
I mean, I know you can do some pretty stylish video editing and so on that you'd want a reasonably solid processor on there to handle high res
yeah,
graphic, especially with the 4K capacities, and I think it's moving up to 8K as well. I'm not sure, but like
yeah,
um, again, from everything I was reading, it's like you only need that extra power if you're gonna do dual 4K live streaming with editing. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
not till next year.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if 5G is available,
Yeah,
I might start thinking about that. But
yeah. Well, I mean, I've still got I think I've got an 8, an iPhone 8.
oh yeah,
Like
that good.
I I used to want to keep up,
Yeah,
but now what I want is to be a few years behind
yeah,
because the everything's been tested, everything's been
yeah,
sorted out,
yeah,
and everyone knows already what the good and bad stuff is.
for sure.
So,
And it's cheaper.
because I'm not doing cutting edge stuff. Yeah, exactly, and it's way cheaper. I'm not doing cutting edge stuff,
Yeah,
so I don't need cutting edge stuff.
no,
Like
no, no one
it's
does. Like virtually no
well,
one
yeah,
needs that level of processing. I look at most
yeah,
people what they're
exactly.
doing, even the young generation. Like sure they're gaming,
Yeah,
but you still don't need that level of processing power just to run that. You can get
yeah,
away with
exactly.
any other brand and it will still be able to handle that level of gaming and use that they're
Yeah,
doing.
so I'd be interested to see what Google does with their Pixel phone. So I think they just released their fourth gen,
Oh, but they had a lot of
and
promise, I think, the earlier ones, and then they just kind of
yeah, yeah,
petered out.
this one didn't seem to be that impressive, but the like they've just banned um, it's not Samsung, it's Huawei.
Oh, Huawei, yeah.
Yeah, they've banned them from having any Google stuff in them.
Jeez.
So they can't. They basically don't have Google Maps. They don't have Google. They don't have.
Yeah, that company's
Uh,
been
eh,
hamstrung so bad.
yeah. So I mean, That's what you get for being a government agent. But it's
Yes.
it's, it's like, why won't you let us spy on you?
Yeah, dear.
But
Yeah.
so now it's really only back to Samsung and Apple again. And
Yeah, we have the Oppo brand here, I think, which is it does reasonably okay because its camera quality is quite high,
mm,
and it's a cheaper phone for it. But yeah, I mean those Samsung and Apple are the two big competitors for sure.
yeah, but yeah, so I'm interested what Google is actually going to try and do in the next couple of years as they slowly ramp up their their ability. And
Yeah.
there was this really interesting phone that was a modular phone. I don't know if you ever read about it. It was it basically was like a PC where you could take out the memory, you could take out the chip, you could take out the battery, um, and you could mod it and like add new like a new camera, new like better RAM, better processors, better
That's cool.
like and it was designed as just like here's the motherboard,
Yeah.
and then you just plug everything in the back that you want,
Yeah.
and it like all fit together like a jigsaw sort of. Like, it was really cool. It's such a cool idea, but I
Yeah.
don't think it actually went anywhere.
All right. So starting fresh. D&D. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
I ran a game with the Perth guys on last Thursday, and
yeah.
I was running with the premises of how do you make a centaur, and because it's like half man,
Yeah,
half horse, right?
yeah.
Like, where did centaurs come from? So, so they were like that. You know, they're in the middle of a serious quest. It's one of the ones. They're looking for like a cure for some sickness thing they've got, and so
Yeah.
they're ready to head off into the mountain range where they've got to go look for the thing. And so the journey to get them to the base camp, they come across a forest region with like a whole bunch of festival flags and whatnot set up. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll have a look. And it's got some characters that they've met before in the game, and they're all like, yeah, we're here for the fertility festival, the big fertility festival the centaurs do. And they're like, what's the fertility festival about? It's like, oh, they do it for the harvest time, and it really helps regenerate the forests, and it's really good for
Oh
nature, and
God.
blah blah blah. So I get them there. They have some fun with a few different, like, archery competition and whatnot. Um, and but the evening wears on, and the bonfire, the big bonfire gets lit, and the centaurs roll out these big barrels of wine, and so everyone's drinking the wine, but like nothing's happening. And so I was giving it the premises of like, if you take a pill or whatever, it takes a while to work. And so they're all
Yeah.
sculling these drinks, and I'm like, yeah, you're fine, nothing happens. But then an hour passes. Now start making constitution checks based on how many drinks you've had. And they rolled abysmally. It's like a 4 and a 3 and all this stuff. And so I'm like, bah! And so the idea behind the fertility festival is that the centaurs are looking to strengthen their herd, and so they look for like big, strong men to
Yeah.
impregnate the horses in their clan. Not the
Nice.
centaurs themselves, but actual
Yeah.
horses. And
Yeah,
what they're
yeah, yeah.
drinking is a fertility potion that they that they've been having. But so half the characters didn't
Oh,
really
that's too
fit the
funny.
bill. So they just like they party and they mingle with other NPCs and they go off and have a good time, and then they don't really remember what happened at night, and they wake up in the morning amidst naked bodies or whatever.
Yeah.
But one of the characters, he was like, what is it, a Goliath character? So
Yeah.
he's big, 8 foot tall, strong. And so like two centaur ladies come out, they kind of drag him by the hand off to the tent. He's failed all of his constitution saves, so he's like
Yeah.
gone. And there's a tent set up with a curtain in it, right? The two centaur ladies are making out. One of them ducks behind the curtain, and then backing out through the curtain is the back end of the horse, like her horse back end. But the other centaur lady, she's like keeping him interested and so
Yeah.
on. And so he's going in there and goes for it. But as he's doing it, he's like, you vaguely recall hearing this kind of sound as you do that. But the curtain's covering it, so he doesn't really know what's happened. And so the night passes, and then he wakes up the next morning, and the chieftain of the centaurs is standing over him, and he's like, they were German, right? So it's like, friend, you have done just a wonderful thing to us all. We have done the tests, and the fertility has taken, and you will produce a new king for our clan. Here, take this, and he gives him like a necklace thing, and it's like
Yeah.
it dissolves around his neck, giving him this tribal tattoo, and it makes him like friends with centaurs. Plus, it gives him a bonus to animal handling checks with horses, and so they also like they gift
There
him
you
with
go.
like a giant Clydesdale horse or whatever it is, those really big
Yeah.
horses. And so, but they don't let him know exactly what it was that got impregnated. But everyone kind of suspects and kind of knows what it is. and so that's where we left the
too
last
funny.
game. So I'm gonna pick up this next game from them. Basically, oh, that's right. The very end of it, they all wake up the next morning, and there's like a queue of ladies lining up before a dwarven cleric, and he's handing out what's called an oopsie potion, and. And so they're all like, it's better safe than sorry. And so they're all just going and drinking the oopsie potion. And so the female characters in our party, they're like, yeah, I think I better grab one of those.
That's hilarious.
Dear. So yeah, that was quite a lot of fun. Just it was
No,
definite side
you got
story.
another you got another storyline for in 9 months.
Yeah, well, that character, I've been letting weird things happen. Like he came across a hag who ran a potions shop a few games back, and she's like looking at him like, I'll swap you one of my potions for a vial of yours. And she hands him like an empty flask, and he's like, what? She's like, the blood. It's fire potion. He's like, all right, sweet, because he's got like a low intelligence and the thing's worth 60 gold. So he's like,
Oh god.
I'll do that, and fills it up and says, can I do a few more? She's like, yes, okay, here's a couple. So I'm just trying to like work out what it is that will come
so
out. I'm not
funny.
sure if it's gonna like make a clay golem of him or just maybe turn
That's a
it into
great
a
idea.
drug or
Yeah.
something. See what?
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it's just having a bit of fun with that crew, but yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, we can. Well, are we playing D&D again not this weekend, is it? No.
Well, I'm trying to. I would like to play either Friday night or Sunday night
Oh, yeah,
if
that's
people
right.
are free.
Yeah.
Because I'm free. It's just Saturday night is what's the name?
My birthday.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Well, it's also your birthday, so you wouldn't have been able to play anyway. But yeah, so it's.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got to take Sophia trick or treating.
Oh, you got the costume all sorted out?
Vampire.
Vampire. Nice. And her one?
Yeah.
Are you going to be wearing a costume, Simon?
No.
What?
No, I'm just a dad. I'm just a dad.
You be the princess, she can be the vampire. Why not? Start
I mean,
practicing
before she gets
heels.
too big, maybe I should do like is it Guado? What's that guy's from
Quasimodo.
Total Recall. He like opens this shirt and hand.
Open your mind, Quaid.
Yeah. Is it Quato or
I
Quato?
can't remember his... That would be awesome. Only the parents would understand that one, but yes,
Yeah, yeah.
that would be very
Like
cool.
trick or treat.
More candy.
Yeah, I could just walk like this, like
Yeah, no, that'd be fun. I don't think I've done
mm,
a proper Halloween because yeah, I was always having a birthday dinner or whatever, so
mm,
I never
yeah.
actually did one.
Yeah, well, they weren't really popular when you were a kid, like
Nah, not in Darwin.
really. Yeah. So anywhere in Australia, really. Like that, but they're super popular now.
Yeah. Oh man,
Like I
people
went
love to
out.
celebrate stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just took a while for, I guess, the internet sort of homogenized things and stuff. But yeah. Oh, anyway, dude.
Yep. Yes, we'll catch you
Till
next time.
till next week.
Do we have a good thumbnail shot I can do?
Um,
Oh,
but
wait. Oh, hold on a second.
maybe you can blue screen on something on this.
Sound like
Or you
Hunter
could
Biden's laptop.
you could,
Laptop. It's the laptop. I got it off a
you
blind
could,
guy.
yeah, you could put some green screen on my shirt.
Just have a Hunter Biden's face on there, like no.
Going no.
Oh dear. Yeah, we'll discuss that one next time, maybe.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
Oh,
We'll catch you later. See you.
yeah, catch you later.